इस पंखा को हल्का से चलाओ, अपना पंखा मेरा। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नमस्कृत्य
नारायणं
नरं चैव
नरोत्तमं
नरोत्तमं
देवीं सरस्वतीं
व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये।
जयमुदीरये।
ततो जयमुदीरये। इष्टप्रायिष्टभद्रेषु
नित्यं सेवया
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
भक्तिर्भवति
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी।
कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी।
हरे कृष्ण।
अहं चोक्तो भगवता
अहं चोटो भगवता
हरे नः
प्रपन्नार्ति हरे नः
हरे नः
ह्रीं त्वं प्रयान्तीति
पदरीं त्वं प्रयाहीति संकुलं
संजीवमाम्
अहं चोक्तो भगवता
चोक्तो भगवता
अन्नार्ति हरे नः
प्रपन्नार्ति हरे नः
बदरीं त्वं प्रयाहीति
पदरीं त्वं प्रयाहीति
स्वकुलं सङ्गिहीषणा
स्वकुलं कीर्षुणा
अहं
चोक्तो
पन्नार्ति हरे नः त्वं प्रयाहीति स्वकुलं सञ्जिहीषणा Aham Aicha and Uktaha was told Bhagavata by the Supreme Lord, Prapanna of the surrendered, Arti Harena by he. By he who is a vanquisher of the distress. Ha! Indeed, Badari to Badari, from you, Prayahi should go. Tidas, Swakulam, his own family, Sanjihishuna, who tried to destroy. Lord of the vanquished of distress, one who surrendered unto him. Thus, he who desired to destroy his family told him previously to go to Badrikashram. क्या हुआ? अपना ऑन करो ना उधर भी हल्का सा. Purport, while at Dwarka, Uddhava was warned to avoid the distress which were to follow. Yeah, who likes to read? Somebody start reading.
While at Dwarka, Uddhava was warned to avoid the distresses which were to follow the disappearances of the Lord and the destruction of the Yadu density. He was advised to proceed to Badrikashrama because there he could associate with the devotees of Nara Narayana. And in their association of the devotional service, he could increase his eagerness for chanting, hearing, knowledge, and detachment.
Very good. We can do one more.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you.
My pleasure.
तथापि तद् अभिप्रेतम्
तथा
Tadbripe
अभिप्रेतम्
जानन् अहम् अरिन्दमा
Janam Vishamam
Arindama.
पृष्ठतो
जानन् अहम्
अहम् कर्तुः
अरिन्दम
Prishtato
पृष्ठतोऽन्वगमं
Advishaleshanakshamah
तथापि तद् अभिप्रेतम्
तथापि तद् अभिप्रेतम्
Tadbripetam
अरिन्दमा
जाननमरिन्दमा
ततो अन्वगमं भर्तुः
पृष्ठतो अन्वगं भर्तु
क्षणाक्षमः
पादविश्लेषणाक्षमः
तथापि yet in spite of tat abhipretam his desire janam janan knowing haridamam host of Devar the Emi Vidura Prishtataha behind Anvagamam followed Bharatuhu of the master Pada Vishleshana separation from his lotus feet Akshamaha not being able. Yet despite of my knowing his desire to destroy the dynasty who are in Nandama Vidura, I followed him because it was impossible for me to be a separation from the lotus feet of the master. Adraksham ekamasinam
Adraksham ekam asinam.
अद्राक्षम् एकम् आसीनं
Dahitam
Chinvan.
विजयितं पदिम्
Niketam Sarasatyam
Triniketam Saraswatyam.
श्रीनिकेतं सरस्वत्यम्
Etakam
Kritaketam Aketanam.
कृताकेतनम्
Adraksham I saw Ekam alone, Asinam sitting, within one, deeply thinking, Daitam, veteran, Pati, master, Shri Niketam, the shelter of the god of the fortune, Saraswatyam on the bank of Saraswati, Kritaketam, taking shelter, Aketanam, being situated without a shelter. Thus following, I saw my patron and master Lord Shri Krishna sitting alone and deeply thinking, taking shelter on the bank of the river Saraswati, although he is the shelter of the god of the fortune. Yes, who wants to read the purport?
Those who are in the renounced order of life often take shelter underneath a tree. The Lord was found by Uddhava in that condition of taking shelter, as do persons who have no shelter. Because he is the proprietor of everything, everywhere in his shelter, and everywhere is under his shelter. The entire material and spiritual cosmic manifestation is sustained by him, and therefore he is the shelter of everything. So there was nothing astonishing in his taking shelter in the way of the unsheltered who are in the renounced order of life. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Om Jnana Timrendasya Jnana Shalakaya Chakshurmilita Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Adrakshame Vichinvandayitam patim Sriniketam Saraswatyam Kritaketam Aketanam. Thus following, I saw my Petra and Master Lord Shri Krishna sitting alone and deeply thinking, taking shelter of the banks of the river Sati, although in the shelter of the goddess of fortune. So this is the discussion. Uddhava is speaking about his final moments with the Lord. And before Krishna departed from the world, Uddhava also got Uddhava Gita. That is another instance of the instructions. And finally, the Lord disappeared. And before that, he gave audience to Uddhava and Maitreya. Now, today the discussion is on shelter. First thing, our body needs something. Atma does not need anything, but the body needs something. We need food, we need some protection, we need water, we need air to breathe. This body has certain need, typically signified by Annamaya, want some food, Pranamaya, want to protect our life. So we need something. We cannot just live without. Atma doesn't need anything physical. Materially, Atma can live independent of that. Atma doesn't need food, Atma doesn't need water, Atma doesn't need air. But the body needs these things. So somebody has to provide. We cannot create these necessities. Just like a bird which needs food, gets up, flies little, and the things are available. Similarly, for us also, actually little effort should be there. That's called good civilization. And things are available by the arrangement of the nature. Animals don't struggle so hard to meet the needs of their body. What is that? Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. These are the needs. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maituna, samana, esha, pushuvinarana. As much we have these needs, other species also have these needs. And these needs are fulfilled by the nature in a very simple way. They don't have to really work too much hard. Little effort is there. It's not that nahi suptasya simhasya pravishanti mukhenaja. Some effort is there, even for a tiger. Not the tiger opens his mouth and a deer walks in. Some effort is there, but little effort. थोड़ा मेहनत तो सभी को करना पड़ता है, पर थोड़ा मेहनत. सारे जानवर हैं, पंछी हैं, खाना उनके मुंह में नहीं आता, कुछ करना पड़ता है. You have to work little. Similarly, for human being also, it was designed in the same way. Little effort. Therefore, Prabhupada says, Prabhupada ji bolte हैं, civilization means shanti. Civilization means shanti. थोड़ा मेहनत होना चाहिए, बहुत ज्यादा नहीं. उसको that is put in the category of प्रयास. Too much effort for maintenance of the body, उसको क्या बोलते हैं? प्रयास. ना कोई बोले मेरे को बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं मिल रहा है जब करने का, बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं मिल रहा है गीता पढ़ने का, मेरे को बिल्कुल टाइम नहीं मिलता है भगवान के बारे में कुछ सुनने का, तो प्रयास नहीं होना चाहिए. But modern day society, we are caught in a civilization that is ugrakarma. What proper is the word? Ugrakarma. Ugrakarma means too much effort for the maintenance of the body. So a God-centered civilization is simple living, high thinking. Where there is some effort, simple living. Because life is simple, the needs are simple, the person is very peaceful. He can meet it if the need. If your life is simple, the needs are simple, very easily those needs can be met. But if the life is complicated, needs are complicated, then it's very difficult to even procure the needs of your body. Just like in the city, right in the center of the city, you want to have a house. the cost is astronomically high in any city. Now then, you have to struggle whole life to achieve that. You have to simply struggle, prayas. So that is one part. Second thing is that there not only needs the body, there needs the mind. Mind wants honor, wants respect, worship, mana puja pratishtha. Mind wants these things. Then again, the Lord is supplying. And finally, the soul. Soul is hankering to serve the Lord. That also Lord is supplying. So you take physically, mentally, or spiritually, we have certain needs. And when these needs are fulfilled, person is fully satisfied. Therefore, there is a shloka in the Shastra, Nityo Nityanam Chetanas Chetananam Eko Bhavunam Vidadati Kaman. We are eternal, plural. First, God is eternal, Nitya. Nityana, there are many, many eternal. He is conscious, Chetanas, Chetananam. There are many conscious. But there is one difference. What is that? Eko Bhavunam Vidadati Kama. Alone. What is the difference? Alone the Lord satisfies the needs of the rest. That's the shelter. Even Acharya, Srila Prabhupada was also the shelter. The devotees had spiritual needs. They wanted to grow in spiritual life. In the Western world, they were all lost. They were needy. They wanted some direction. They're looking for an alternative to their life. And Prabhupada went. And when they met Prabhupada, he gave them shelter. He gave them spiritual education. And then they so much relished. Even Prabhupada says, I came under the protection of my Guru. He's such a great Acharya. So I came in the protection of my Guru. And that is a very nice feelings. Now there's something in the purport. I think in the previous one. So Krishna advised Uddhava to go to Badrikashram. Now, this plan of the Lord is very difficult to understand. Just like we were discussing that with Anumara at that time. Presently, seeing the pandemic, seeing so many people dying, it is very difficult to know the plan of the Lord. We can't say with authority, this is the plan. We don't know. We can guess, we can have plan, but we don't know what is the plan. We can guess. Prabhupada said that when there is a World War III, after that, it will become very easy to preach. Now, this presently, it's a biological war on. And we see that more and more people are taking interest in spiritual life. To some extent, not that everybody, but to a large extent, people have become less proud. And people have, their movement is restricted. So many sinful activities are not available. And we see people becoming more interested in spiritual life. So that may be our guess. So like Acharya was saying, as World War III, war doesn't have to be with the weapons. This is also kind of war only. What happens in the war? People are at home and bombing is going on and people are dying. Same thing is happening. Wartime, everything is suspended. Correct? There is curfew. People are sitting at home and bombing is going on. People are dying. Correct? Planes come similar way. No way different. Invisible enemy and people are dying. People are in great anxiety one after another. But we see overall, and Bhagavad Gita also says that The four kind of people surrender to me. Artho Ardharth Jigyasu Gyani cha Bharata Shava. Those who are pious people in this kind of a distressful condition, those who are pious, they try to turn towards God. That's why we are seeing when you're taking classes, hardly anybody is arguing. We say it is like this, it's like that. Like generally, you should find very proud people do not agree to what we say, and and it's scary to even talk. As somebody, I remember, I used to know that devotees, they were my students, they were in Bombay. So I told them to take class, but unfortunately, the first class itself, he had some Zoom bombers. He was so pious. He said, I can't take class. These people are so tough. How can we take class for new people? They're like that, they're like that. But it's not like none of us have felt like that. We're dealing with some new people who have some strange ideas. People are so receptive. Whatever you say, they just accept it. Around the world. It's a very fertile ground for teaching, actually, which was not there before the pandemic. It was not there. Uh, Suddenly, we see that atmosphere has changed, and people are very easily understanding, agree, and even 18 days they start chanting also. Very easy, which was generally not done. So it's difficult to know what's the plan of the Lord is. When it finally unfolds, okay, this was a plan. But presently, we can just have a hint. We know uh, things are happening because Papa Karma of the people is there. Definitely, Krishna doesn't create anybody's Papa Karma. If somebody is suffering, he's suffering for Bhunjanva Atma Kripam Papakam. He's suffering because of his own sinful act. Not that the God creates sinful act. God doesn't create. God doesn't create anybody suffering. Some pure devotees separate. It's not suffering. Like Prahlad Maharaj, Pandava, it's not suffering for them. They're very advanced consciousness. They don't suffer. But people are not like that today, suffering. They're suffering their own papa karmas. But it's difficult to know the plan of the Lord. So similarly, we see here, Uddhava was told, you go to Badrik Ashram. It's very difficult to know the plan of the Lord at that moment. Later we know it is because Krishna wanted one of his devotees to stay, to give an example to the world. Uddhava was so dear to Krishna. So stay for some more time, give example to the world. What is a pure devotee? So the world can say, oh my God, look at him. That's why Vidura met Uddhava and he glorified Uddhava. Oh, he was wonderstruck with his advanced devotion service. So it's not easy. Why did Lord do like that? When Yudhishthira Maharaj, after the war was over, so after the war was over, Yudhishthira Maharaj took shelter of Bhishma. First he took shelter of Krishna, that I am not feeling to rule. Krishna tried to guide him. Said, I am not convinced. Took him to Vedavyasa. Vedavyasa also tried to guide him. He said, still I am not convinced. Then he went to Bhishma. And Bhishma, first thing Bhishma says, when is there, we read in the first canto, 9th chapter. The Bhishma says, it is very difficult to know the plan of the Lord. Otherwise, how is it with great warrior like Arjuna, Bhima, and Dharma, son of Dharma personified, Yudhishthira Maharaj, so saintly person. Even in the presence of such people and Lord being their friend all the time, they suffered so much. Bhishma, as a grandfather, is seeing this situation. How you would not even have survived the tribulation. There's so many tribulations. But Dev Achyuta Dharma, Ashraya, you have taken shelter of Devatas, taken shelter of Krishna, Dharma, you have taken shelter of the Shastras. So therefore you survive. Otherwise, you would not even have survived this time. But it is very difficult to know the plan of the Lord. So it is very difficult for us to know the plan of the Lord in any situation. Very difficult. But you should have always the prayer, my Lord, I am at your disposal. I am your servant. And kindly nimitra matre na bhava savisachin. I know always, my Lord, you have a plan. Use me for fulfilling all your plan. Simple details we all know. Prithvi che yatvaji nagaradi grama Sarvatra Prachaya Vimora Nama. As many towns and villages are there, Chaitanya Prabhu said, you spread the holy name. So overall, this this is the Bhavishyavani prediction which is unfolding in front of us and become an instrument in so many ways. Particularly now through this course, we're feeling privileged, feeling very fortunate to be part of becoming an instrument in the hand of Srila Prabhupada. At the same time, the details we don't know. We don't know exactly what to do. So many things are always options are 100 in every step. We don't know to turn right, to learn left, to go forward. We just don't know. Therefore, we should be on the shelter. My Lord, please guide me. Because Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what does it say? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti te. Tesham satata yuktanam. Those who are constantly engaged in devotion service, bhajatam priti purvakam, and doing serving with great love. Tadami, Krishna says, I give knowledge. What kind of knowledge? Tadami buddhi yogam tam yena mam upayanti, by which they can come to. So Krishna is very clear. He gives very clear direction. Prabhupada says what to do, when to do, how to do. Krishna gives very clear direction. Only thing what we need to do, be sincere. And one of the things we said that what we should look for is association. Correct? That's what we see here in the next shloka. It says, thinking, why did Lord leave me? To get association. To get association of the disciples of Narayan Rishi. So in their good association, I can, grow. I found that thing design. Yeah, it was at 4.4. Okay. He had advised because he could say to the devotees of Narayana, in the association, devotion service, he could increase the eagerness for chanting, hearing, knowledge, and detachment. This is called association. What is the purpose of association? You can be living with another person with a 1 meter distance whole your life, but you will not be associating. Your mind is somewhere, his mind is somewhere. Association means you are revealing your mind and taking instruction. That is association. Association means next step we can be there. What is association? Association increases our eagerness for chanting, hearing, knowledge, and detachment. That is association. Sometimes you forget what is the purpose of association. Association is not like in society, all the ladies gather together and they have some kind of kitty party, nonsense, laughter clubs. There's all ladies gather together. That is not association. That is some animals also gather like that. There is no benefit. But this is association. When we are associated. Result of that, you increase your eagerness for chanting, hearing, knowledge, and detachment. That is association. So life is to seek association of like-minded devotees who also want to bodhyastas parasar, who are also eager to share their taste for chanting, hearing, knowledge, and detachment. So that is what's called association. Okay, so Sri Radha Govinda ki. So although I is a very advanced devotee, he's getting some hints. Why did Lord Krishna plan like this? Perhaps maybe he wanted me to get more association. Yes. In fact, all we can do every moment is associate. We can pray to the Lord for protection. We can take shelter of the Lord and always seek good association. Kita janma hoita, even if I am born as an insect, let me be born in the assembly of devotees. Bhaktivinoda Thakur says. Again, that is many times it is said. Okay, I may take birth again, but doesn't matter. But I should get some association of the devotees. To get association of devotees, you increase your eagerness for chanting, hearing, knowledge, and detachment, and you go back to Godhead. Okay, so that is Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, even though people who are very, very advanced in devotion service, when they leave the body, I give them birth in a situation where great acharyas, family of great acharyas, what is the purpose of that family? Great saintly devotees. he can easily increase the eagerness of chanting, hearing, knowledge, and detachment. Prabhupada says, unless you develop eagerness for hearing, then what you do is spiritual. What's the sign of your advancement? That's a sign of spiritual advancement. If somebody increases eagerness for hearing, that is sign of spiritual advancement. Okay, so this is very nice. Hare Krishna. I'll stop here. Anything more to add? So any questions?
Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Prabhuji, Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Prabhuji,
Krishna
Shastram
Prabhuji.
Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Krishna Prabhuji,
Prabhuji.
Dandavad Pranam.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Dandavad Pranam Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Namo
Right.
Namaha.